All right, so the question is, are squats bad for your knees? And most people, I know when I was first starting out, this is what I heard over and over again, that squats were terrible on your knees. And I don't know where this got to start, I don't know who started it, but squats can be one of the most amazing exercises for your knee. Now that being said, bad squats are horrible for your knees. If you do a squat bad, it's bad. It's bad for your knees. So what I'm going to show you in this video is some of the coaching progressions that we use to get people into the proper squat. So that way it can be a good thing for your knees and strengthen the body. Because if you're an athlete or a human being, you should be practicing the squat. So, I mean, when we have people 75 years old that we've got doing squats. We've got people post knee replacement that we get doing squats. We've got people that are thinking about a knee replacement that we make them do squats, and we can actually get their knees feeling better. So squats can be an amazing thing. Now the first step is not to load the squat when you're learning the squat. So as you start off without having too much pressure there. All right, so I got a chair now. What we're going to do is, best way to start learning the squat is with a chair. So I'm pointing directly at the camera here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set my feet about shoulder width apart. Good, like I said, a good average squat stance. There are going to be some times where maybe a wider stance is going to be effective too. So I'm about shoulder width apart here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to aim to come down, and you start people off with just sitting and coming up on the squat. So just a seated and coming up. The next step is the hover, being able to hover well. Now that looked easy, but most people don't do it like that. So let me show you some of the problems that come up with squats, and so you can be watchful of those. So one of the big things that happens in the squats is this toes turn out, knees cave in thing, or maybe just knees cave in on their own. So maybe my toes are all set up, everything looks good, but I do this in my squat. So my knees are buckling in toward each other. They're kind of knock-kneed there. Now, if you're doing that, that absolutely loads up the front of the knee. There's all the pressure is going through your knee. You're not engaging the hips at all. So we've got to get the knees out on the squats. It's wide. It's not very ladylike to do a squat, but obviously the name squat doesn't sound like a ladylike thing to do anyway. So knees are out. We got the weight pretty evenly distributed. The bad thing in squats is if your weight's too far on your toes. If you're loaded up on your toes, you're loaded up through your knees also. Back on the heels, you're loading through the hips more. So as you're doing squats, especially as you're doing lots of reps of squats, you want to be shifted back more as you're doing that. Some other problems that come up is just with the spine. Squats, a really bad squat can be rough on your back too. The important thing is to keep your back straight. That does not mean straight up and down. You can't do a squat straight up and down without falling backwards or without thrusting your knees forward really far and getting up on your toes. Horrible squat up on the toes and knees thrusted forward. So what we do is keep the back straight, and you might find, especially starting off, we have people that, as far as hip flexibility, this is as low as they're going to be able to get. They can't get to chair. This is the lowest. Their back is straight. They're squatting down there, and that might be the lowest. And so you have them work on that to start with. You work on that position and come up. Even athletes should be doing this. So, and then you want to try to get to where you can progress that squat to the full depth while keeping the back straight. So none of this rounded stuff. This is bad, especially if you introduce weight into the squat. That's going to be horrible for the lower back. So you've got to get it straight. Once you've got this, the mechanics of that down, now you can add weight to this, and now it just makes your body stronger, more flexible, and you can do more. And it will certainly help with your daily life performance, and absolutely with sport performance. You need squats for sports. So hopefully that clears up at least a little bit of what goes into the squat and why squat's not bad. Bad squat, bad. All right? All right, this is Jeremy Biernatt saying have fun, be safe.